I don't really need to introduce Jean-Pierre again. I had no idea what's going to happen in the next hour and 3/4. I mean, we just got up and yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. We have got letters to Jane here, just arrived. We may well not show it now. We'll see what happens and how Jean-Pierre feels. If we don't show it in this period, it will be shown at 3:30 this afternoon in Middlesex College, in the theatre. Before we show Two Bar Bien again, so we'll show Letter to Jane. So that people just want to see Letter to Jane, they can see that in the movie. Okay.
Okay, so it's very early. Generally it takes me 4 or 5 hours to get awake. And second, Letter to Jane is a painful film to watch when you're totally awake, so I'd rather skip that, unless you want to sleep a little bit more. Okay, what do you want to talk about? Let's try to find something. I mean, basically I'm more interested in cooking than in film, so if you want a lecture on French cooking, I'm ready for you.
I spoke briefly last night about the fact, well, obviously Two Bar Bien and the films before it are very Brechtian in many senses, and you now see that as being one of the problems, that to be Brechtian today is somehow, that was 40 years ago, and where are we now? I mean, granted that you're not theorizing in the same manner that you were 4 years ago in the same intensity. I mean, do you see specific new directions growing out of that, or simply a break away from it? Or?
I'm not, as sure as I was. I mean, 4 years ago, I had very definite ideas of the glorious path of political cinema. Now I'm here at 9 o'clock in the morning, facing the snow. It's kind of more balanced. But I mean, the funny part, Jean-Luc has a thing, which is that he really wants to have fun, and one of his perverse way to have fun is to screw producers. So it's kind of real fun, but you're always on the edge. I mean, because the guys are going to call the IRS to tail you at one point. But we had great time doing that film. We were all in Rome. It was sunny. I don't know. It was a lot of anarchist guys around. That was fun. After that, the times were a little bit rough. Yeah, and we got all that. I mean, we mainly produced our films through TV channels. And as I told yesterday, the guys would, be very grateful that we would do a film on their country. And okay, the film was going to be shown at 11 o'clock at night. I mean, nobody would see it whatsoever. And kind of research project. But when they saw the film, I mean, they really couldn't swallow that. They really couldn't swallow it. And basically, the films were tricky. If you haven't seen Struggle in Italy. Okay, Struggle in Italy is a film which functions on on 3 shots. It functions like a deck of cards. So you got 3 shots at the beginning, 2 faces up and 2 faces down. So you've got a black space here, a shot, a black space. And all you do through the film, through 1 hour of film, is to turn that thing and that thing's face up. And to explain editing. So that shot shifts meaning throughout the film. It's a kind of a game. It's a spatial film. Film is time and space. So you play space on the space. I mean, on the link between this and this and this and this and this and that whole sequence all the time. So when you think about that, I mean, think about a film like that being shown on TV with a lot of black space in it. I mean, you have the feeling that people are going to rush to the TV set and try to find the image again. So that's why they didn't like it. We started working together, we really started working on original scripts and ideas. And building our scripts in a very different way than scripts are built traditionally. I mean, people would freak out because we'd come with 5 pages of mathematical formulas and drawings and no lines whatsoever. So what? What's that? Yes, that's a film. Give us the money, we'll show you at the end. And he's trying to achieve what he's been trying to achieve all his life long, which is to be able to do diaries. And now he's going to be able, mainly through video, to make those 10-minute films and to link them together. And he's more interested in that than in anything else. And I don't blame him. I mean, but that's something you can realize when you're Jean-Luc. That means when you've done 20 films and when you've, killed yourself by doing that. Because Jean-Luc really thinks he's killed himself, and that's true. I mean, that's really amazing, but it's true. So we got 90 millions of liras to do the film, and we did the film for 10 millions, and we gave away 80 millions to political groups, to people who were doing interesting things and things like that. It turned out that all those political groups were mainly managed by crooks, who bought themselves, famous paintings. One guy opened a transvestite bar in Milan. I mean, physically, when I went to the States, I mean, physically I have a feeling of space that I don't have in France, and that really changed my whole behavior and my whole range of perception. Just the fact that you can extend your arms and there are not 2 people around that you can slap in the face because you just want to extend your arms. So that's more or less the way I felt. Besides that, I don't feel like filming in France. I mean, in France you have 2 or 3 things: interiors, cafe, and streets. And well, I think that's been done and overdone. So I feel like, filming Indians, or being in a situation where you can, the strangeness of the world you're dealing with, because you don't know the rules, because the rules are more fluid, because sometimes I'm in like a mad ethnologist. I mean, the first time I went to a baseball game, I was really amazed because I didn't really understand what the whole thing was about. But it was very funny to watch. I mean, it was really nice. A lot of movements, a very strange passing, people yelling when I couldn't understand what they were yelling. And all that can give you, just small ideas. I mean, small ideas to do small films. And I really think that's what cinema is about. I've always been interested in limits. I mean, as a personal rule, and approaching my limits and trying to trespass them, or trying to deal with them. I mean, that the notion of limit being linked to the notion of fear for me. So it's following my fears to the point where they just crumble down because there is a big laughter. I was so scared of that. Fuck. And you start doing other things. And one of the process I was interested in was all process which can lead to a smashing of the ego. Whether it was through creative work, whether it's through drugs, whether it's through politics, whether it's through wandering in Mexico. That's it. That's what it's about. Till the point where you really take that in account and you proceed. You finally, after 31 years, you get into a dancing mood. I'm a Nietzschean Marxist. That's all I have. And I'm certainly more Nietzschean than Marxist. 4 years I was I was seeing my life in very negative terms. I said, a lot of pain, a lot of doom, incredible seriousness. I'm not serious anymore. Which means that I'm more serious than I was. I'm more playful. Want some tap dance now?